Welcome, welcome, welcome. Got three special guests, and of course, Coach Vann. Howie, where you at tonight? You out doing 007 stuff?
I'm sitting at the DeKalb County VFW Fair tonight.
All right, man. And Howie joined us. Coach, welcome in on what was a great week. As far as last Friday night, I got a couple of interviews from you, actually, that I stole from a TV station. And it was a good night Friday night for the football team.
It was a good crowd. Guys come out, played hard, executed well early in the game. Really throughout the game, I thought the execution was pretty good. So we don't have to replicate that, do that again this Friday night if we want an opportunity to win another football game. Because this is a good football team, but it was a big win in Geraldine. But we've got to move past that, move on. We've enjoyed it long enough, probably too long, probably carried over into practice today, but we've got to move on now. Get ready for this Friday.
Coach, how did install day go yesterday? Was it smooth?
Actually, install day wasn't bad. Today was good. But install day was pretty good. So.
All right, guys. I'm gonna come over here and talk to the guys joining us. And first, I want to make welcome Aspen Cooley. You got a lot to live up, Aspen, after Ashton's appearance on this show. So, what positions do you play, and what year are you?
I play a defensive end, right tackle, play center, slot too. I play nose on the defensive line. I play everyone on the defensive line. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a senior.
Well, do you listen to your brother? That's the only thing he told me to ask you. Okay, we'll move on from that one. All right, Griffin Turner here tonight. Welcome yourself in. What position you play? What class you in?
I play quarterback. I'm a junior.
All right, Jonah. Last man slide up there. You don't have to be out in center field.
I play strong safety, free safety, and sometimes corner. And I'm also a senior.
All right, let's go around the table. Friday night with Geraldine coming into town. What was the atmosphere like? And we'll start over here with Griffin and then come across to Aspen.
I mean, it was a big game. We had a lot of people come, so it was nerve-wracking seeing a lot of people, but we did pretty good.
What was it like in warm-ups, just seeing that many people lining the fence and all around?
I mean, it was crazy. I mean, looking around, just seeing so many people, kind of puts pressure on you.
All right, Jonah, you've been around 4 years. I think you've played all 4 years, haven't you?
No, sir. I played 2 years, but I've been in the fans the other 2 years too.
All right, you've been around it for the last 4 years. What was that crowd like compared to the last couple of years?
Man, that was great. Coach Vann kept saying it was going to be a big crowd and all that stuff, and I was like, it's going to be another game. Can't be bigger than Piedmont. It wasn't lying. I mean, it was crazy coming out there during warm-ups at 6 o'clock, and there'd be the stands already filled. Like, that don't usually happen like that. I had people saving seats, people telling me there's parked at the front of the school. You turn around, the fences are lined up, man. It just gets you pumped up. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. I got a video of the opening kickoff return, and I swear it is the greatest atmosphere. Just the sun setting over the mountain and what happens on the play. And we're going to show it here in a little bit and get some of Coach's comments too. Aspen, what was it like Friday night for you?
Man, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that. Biggest crowd I've ever seen. I was fired up because of it.
What was the pregame like for you? Were you nervous or were you just kind of in awe?
I ain't nervous. I'm fired up the whole time.
They're going to get bigger over time. Y'all keep them winning. They're going to get bigger. How y'all come up to you after I ask Coach one question? Same question kind of you, Coach. And I'm going to show you we won't look at the whole kickoff, but I want the atmosphere and just let everybody see what this crowd was like out there. Coach, that was as good as I've seen. It was a beautiful setting. Sun going down. No better result you can get on the first play. What was the sideline like at that point?
Oh, they were excited. I was excited. I thought it was we didn't block it up the greatest. We made enough blocks, and Zack ran through an arm tackle, and everybody did their job on the play. And Zack made a good play and got in the open field and scored, and that was a great start. Kind of calmed the nerves, a little bit of nerves that we may have had, I think. Kind of helped us there too, and put us ahead early. That was big time.
Coach, that setting too, for the folks that's not been out in Sylvania, the stadium, it's the jumbotron in the background, the sun setting. I mean, I'm not much into, hey, let's look around and enjoy the setting, but that's the most beautiful. I mean, it's just awesome, and for the fans, it's something special to see.
Oh yeah, it's nice. I wish I had more time to look at it. I really don't pay attention unless we're painting on Thursday nights or whatever up here helping. But no, it isn't. It's a good set, and it makes it a lot better when people show up like they did Friday night and support our football team, because them guys work really hard and they deserve every last person to come out and support them, because they put a lot of work. They don't just show up.
I want to give credit to the nice lady that let me use that video. It's in the description of the show. And I thought the cowbell ringing, the stuff, though, it was just great. Howie, I'll throw it up to you.
Yeah, you called it the Jumbotron, but I think some people trying to get it named the Vann Vision now. But that's something, that's – anyway, listen to the players over there laugh at you, Coach.
I thought it was Ashdown Vision.
Oh, I won't say you should have said that. We won't. Hopefully, Ashton don't watch this, so we don't have to. Tell her to ask me.
That's right.
Coach Vann, before the game, I asked you what you usually you tell me what you want from the other team as far as stat wise. When I asked you Friday night, you hesitated. What was you trying to decide on? Was you expecting a little bit of both, or what was the deal on that?
Well, I wanted them to be one-dimensional and have to throw it a lot. So I was really wanting to keep up with pass yards, but I also wanted to know what rushing yards is on half. You take away the one run there towards the end of half. I thought we did a really good job on the run game. I think before broke a long run there early or midway through the second, maybe, that we didn't fit up right when we actually missed a tackle. But other than that, I thought we did a really good job of run fits. Did a good job in the pass, too. I mean, they're going to make plays. They're going to have drives. They have good football players. So you watch football on Saturday and Sundays. People will make plays. You can't be – sometimes you're going to be in the right position. The dude just makes a play. That's part of it. But I thought our defense played well, and that's just me thinking about – I was hoping we'd just get them one miss and make them throw it. So.
I ended up asking you twice because I thought the first time you didn't hear what I said, but then you just kind of went into – it's kind of like you froze there for a second. I'm like, Coach, what do you want? And you're like, I want it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
You probably caught me at a bad time. I was probably answering 15 other questions too. I probably had something going through my mind.
That's fine. Aspen Cooley, when you was talking about your positions, you left out the most important one when you play fullback. So I'd let everybody know you're a fullback every once in a while.
A lot of people like me playing fullback, mostly the other team.
Not many people get to say, "Hey, I'm a fullback for the number 7th ranked or 8th team in the state." Man, tell them you're the fullback. Be proud of it. Jonah, when you're on the defensive side back there, I can't get nothing out of Aspen, so we may have to swap Cooley for Cooley next time. I'm not sure. Jonah, when you're back there playing defense, to me in the secondary, it's like you're the quarterback of the secondary. It seemed like you're doing a lot of the play calling back there. Am I reading that?
No, sir. I don't like to talk about it a lot, but it is me. I like to be a vocal guy. I call out everything. The linebackers may say it, but linebackers ain't got a voice like me, man. I shout it out. I call everything. I'll be calling everything every game, no matter what it is. So, yeah, that's me. I'm the biggest vocal guy out there.
And Finn, you're the quarterback. And what do you want to say about your quarterback's position coach? He's not listening right now, so just go ahead and say what you want to.
Well, He's surely one of the better ones. I mean, he gives us a good game plan, so it makes it really easy on me mainly every game. I mean, he calls a play, and I just about know where to throw it because the game plan. Everything has a reason around it.
That's good. Randy, back to you, buddy.
I can't believe Griffin gave us that serious of an answer. I was waiting for him to dig at Coach Vann a little bit. But, Coach, let's go back to Friday night a little bit before we move on to Pisgah. I did think the game plan was a good game plan. And it seemed like I got to watch half on Huddle, and then I saw some of your interviews too, and you talked about competing. It did seem like the kids really competed hard Friday night. Something special about Friday night.
Yeah, they compete. They compete every Friday night. Even I've said it a lot. You go back to last year in the game that we don't like to talk about, but Plainview, we competed well in that game, regardless of what people say in the second half. It wasn't a lack of effort. It was just a lack of making plays. And they made one or two more plays than we had. We was dealing with a lot of injuries, guys playing new positions, but it wasn't a lack of effort. I never questioned whether we were going to play with effort or compete in the game. And I thought we did a really good job that Friday night, but it all went back to we executed better in the game and come out with a win. But I'm really proud of the way we compete every Friday night, just not just last week. So.
Coach, Randy, before you ask the next question, Coach, I was in the locker room after the game, and something that I don't want to say impressed me, but something I liked hearing you say was you told the team why the game plan changed at halftime. A lot of coaches won't give that reasoning, but you told them what happened, why you changed the game plan a little bit after halftime. That to me, that's just awesome. Most coaches won't let the players know.
Right, yeah. I just want to know why I kind of made a comment that I probably would just keep on throwing it earlier in the week if we had opportunity, but we really wanted. We was up 31-3, and didn't want to continue to be aggressive in the play column from the stance of we limit their possessions in the second half. It really limits their opportunities to come back. And I felt like we could control the line of scrimmage. I thought our offensive line played really good in the first half, and I felt like they were going to continue to do it. And we threw it just at times just to keep them off balance a little bit. But I really was proud of the offensive line and being able to change the game plan in the second half and be more run-oriented rather than continue to throw it. So I was just trying to limit possessions for the other team because we're in a good spot. Now, 24-3 is a completely different game even than 34-3 because we're adding another possession there. So but when you're up 31-3 and you have that many possessions in your pocket, it's smart to kind of limit. You got to be able to trust your guys up front to get first downs. And we were able to do that. We had 3 possessions on offense second half. And that's attributed to the way our defense played and our offense as well. I was really proud of the way our guys played second half because, you can't do that with just any team. I don't feel like you have to be good up front. It was really attributed to our offensive line.
You were talking about playing hard. That's why I wanted to ask that question real quick, Randy. Go ahead.
Coach, that's kind of funny because I was about to ask you if you felt like the first half was one of your most balanced halves of the year. Because I felt like getting things done in both sides of the football, passing the ball and running the ball.
And that's what we want to be. We're going to spin it. We're going to air it out. And we're running as well. So, that's if we're just running it, more than likely it's because we're just averaging, 4 or 5 yards of rushing. There's no point of throwing it. Or just like the other night, we're trying to get out of the football game. We feel like we have the game in hand. So, but we want to be balanced on offense. We trust our guys at receiver, trust our guys at quarterback, and up front to protect, to be balanced. So.
And took care of the football in the second half.
Yeah, we had one tip where it tipped up in the air. Scared me early in the third quarter, actually our first possession, and that had a little bit to do with why also I didn't throw it as much, which it wasn't just one person's fault there. We actually had 3 miscues on one play, not just one person's fault there, but I just felt like we should run it. And then, what was your question again in the second half?
No, it was the first being balanced in the first half and then being able to be run heavy in the second half. It really was probably the most complete offensive game of the year.
So. Yeah, it was. Really proud of receivers, everybody on offense. We played. That's one of our better offensive games we played in the last 3 years.
Griffin, as the quarterback, I thought your receivers did have a good night. And I thought you, as a pass offense, had a good night. Did you feel a rhythm that night? I mean, because early on, it seemed like you just kind of felt it in that first half.
I mean, I felt comfortable with the game plan and everything. I mean, I knew what I had to do. I mean, it makes it really easy when I can go out there and I can just throw a couple hitches and get comfortable. Makes me pretty confident throughout the game.
Did you ever when that's it's a crazy question, but I always somehow get distracted watching the video of the Jumbotron. Does it ever get in your throwing lane? Or do you
Not at all. It's never bothered me, really.
Okay, good. Because every time I watch a video, I'm like the cat looking into the sun. I can't turn my head. Jonah, when you heard Coach just talk about in the second half, he was going to turn it over and let y'all play defense. What kind of confidence did that give you as a defensive unit that, you know, your head coach will put the game in your hand?
I mean that feels good for us because, you know, I don't play a lot of offense. The offense is rolling, so it's up to us to play. And if he's got a confidence in us, that means we're doing something right. And that just keeps our energy up and keeps us playing hard, and we just don't back down.
Aspen, I got a question, and it's kind of between you and your brother. You talked about you being all over the field on the offensive, defensive line. And when I talked to your brother last week, or 2 weeks ago, he talked about how much he enjoyed defense. Sometimes when I watch you play, I think you enjoy being able to get on the offensive side of football.
They make me like it. They drilled into my head to like it. I used to hate it.
He loves defense. Him and his brother both like defense more. That's okay.
I mean, it can be fun. How special is it to play with your brother?
I mean, it's awesome when he, you know, yelling at me. Maybe yelling at me saying I'm doing something wrong 24/7.
I get it. I get it.
It's in my ear. Just yelling at me, telling me something I'm doing wrong.
Hey, Jonah, what's that huddle like on defense? Is it, I mean, does it, I got to think sometimes it gets completely out of hand.
Oh, man. You talk about getting out of hand is if one of these guys jump off sides, and, you know, the rest of them, that one that jumps off sides trying to be cool, and the other three are sitting there yelling at him like, "You're watching the ball, what are you doing?" So it gets kind of hectic, but the rest of the time, everybody else is high fives, loving each other, telling each other, "Let's go." But if somebody jumps off, it's a bad day.
That would be, I got to watch for that, Coach.
Speaking of the jumping offside, Coach, who won the bet y'all had this past week?
Under. One of them shouldn't even counted. Left side of the line had their hand down, and they actually was in they were actually, one was hinge blocking and the other would look like he was down blocking when we jumped offside. So that was not a very good call on the referee's side. But it also, with the team, the right side shifted and the left side was running a play. It's also very hard to call that correctly when, you know, that team shifts regularly and then they see the right side shift. Sometimes it's easy to miss, but they did miss that one, I felt like. And because the D-line knew to, if their hands are not down, be ready for the shift. Their hands was not down. One side was not. And Aspen was on the side that it was down, and he jumped off side, so it was really not anything on his side. But, brother, to answer the question, yes, I won. It was under. I thought we did a good job on that except for 2 or 3 times. But it's easy to do when you're amped up and ready to fire off the balls.
Howie, I'll come up to you. I want to ask Griffin Finn one more question here, and I'll come up to you. Hey, just the same way with Jonah, I want to know what that offensive huddle is like.
I mean, it's just a lot of guys telling each other, "You got this." I mean, motivating each other. There's not really any negativity. Really positive.
I want to ask you a question about Kyle real fast. It looks like right now, he's really in the zone getting you the football back there. You didn't really struggle with snaps at all in this game, did you?
I did once, but
Him and Aiden both had a drop snap.
I mean, other than that, it was pretty bad.
So Aiden had a drop snap too, Coach. I didn't see that one.
He did. It was actually I think it was on like the 2-yard line. Kind of rolled back. I think we ended up kicking the field goal that drive as well. I believe we kicked the field goal. I think that's what made it 17. So we was in a position to go up 21-0. And then we pulled just like Alabama did the other day on the 1-yard line. We snapped it over our head. So, at 56, it was actually a very good snap. It was a little left, but we got to catch it because Kai's got a lot going on. He's stepping and blocking. Don't ever blame the center. He has a lot on his plate. He's blocking for you, so we got to do a good job of catching it. But you know what happens. We just got to limit those mistakes in the future. Like never do it again.
Chaney, up to you, buddy.
Yeah, Finn, let me ask you, as far as you only play the offensive side as far as quarterback wise, how do you stay warm on the sideline just playing one side of the ball, and do you feel rested going into the fourth quarter after all that?
Hot chocolate, Howie. Hot chocolate.
Well, our defense usually gets stops pretty fast, so I don't really ever get, I guess, cold on the sideline. But I mean, usually I just kind of chill out, get rested up. When the fourth quarter comes, I'm ready.
How soon does Coach find you on the sideline coming off?
It depends if I did good or bad. I done bad pretty fast. I done good. I mean, he sees me, he'll say something.
Yeah, it's good. I might not ever find him, so I need to do a better job of that. And if it's good, I might not ever say anything to him. But I'll try to, though.
Go ahead, Howie.
Jonah, going against the Geraldine team that's kind of balanced as far as passing and running and everything, how hard is it to prepare for that?
I mean, the way that Coach Clark set it up, it was pretty much perfect, man. There really wasn't any complications to it besides, that first day of install where you're learning everything, learning off the sheet. But after that install day, man, it was perfect. The way Coach Clark put that in there, the way he brought up the defense for the way we was going to play them, it really wasn't ever hard again because they had a tendency that kind of gave them away every time.
And Cooley, you and your brother are probably leading the state as far as being held all year long. But the other night, your brother was up one sack on you, and I think I heard you say, "Hey, I got to get it one more." So you went in there and got that last sack of the game. And what did you say to your brother after that?
I mean, if anything, he gets jealous. So usually he's mad at me and saying like, "They're holding me. They're holding me." The reason you got back there, he never says anything good about me.
Well, brothers are not supposed to talk good about each other. Coach Vann, Coach Arnold, what did he say about this run game this past week? He didn't have a whole lot to say on the sideline, and being from Geraldine, this game meant a whole lot as far as being able to beat Geraldine too.
It was nervous all week, but nah, he's happy with the run game. He's starting to like throwing it more and more. You wait, he'll come over the dark side before the end of the year.
Well, the dark side did really good come Friday night, Finn. Last Friday night, Finn, you did a great job spinning that ball, as Coach says. And the only one, I wouldn't call it a bad pass, but like Coach said there in the second half, had a tilt ball there. But do you remember that play? What did you see, and was you expecting them to get their arms up?
Well, I mean, it was play action, so I'm just kind of looking at this guy. If he runs down the run, throw the pass, I saw it pre-snap, so I was just going to already have my mind made up. So when I threw it, I didn't really think it was going to get tipped. But
Jonah, you only play on defense as well. How do you stay kind of loose on the sideline?
We got these seats on the side of the fence now, and as soon as I come off the DB coach Warner, he's told us to get over there, get down, stretch it out, breathe, drink water, and we sit there for a long time sometimes because we can get flags or something like that, or Finn can be spinning it real well, but it's kind of just a sit down and just wait.
I've went long enough. I can't help it. I've got to ask, guys. Y'all got Pisgah this week coming in. Could be one of the fastest teams that you've played up to this point. How are y'all looking forward to it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want more than a yes, sir. Give me a little bit of details, please.
I mean, I'm ready for it. They want to bring the pass game. I mean, I'm a safety. I'm ready for it. Bring it on. Coach Vann's been getting on me all day about where my eyes got to be, so I'm trying to make that right. And if they want to throw the ball, let me have it.
Good deal. Aspen, you expect to be held a lot again Friday night?
They can
I'll be
hold them.
honest, I'm getting tired of pulling your jersey over your pads every week, man.
I mean, usually they hold me, but usually they can't stop me anyway, so they can do whatever they want.
Woo, Lord. Ashton done showed up.
Wrong question.
Coach Vann, go ahead and talk about Pisgah a little bit, their speed and their athletic ability.
Yeah, they're a good football team, well coached. You know, they're I think overall skill wise, top to bottom, best skill group we faced. You know, we faced some really good skill guys though. Up to this point in the year, we faced Ish at Piedmont, 22 Pintos at Piedmont. We faced Carlos Mann. We faced I don't know the kid's name, 3 at Ohatchee. You know, Sachs had athletes overall over the field as well. So we faced some really good athletes as far as from top to bottom. Probably the overall best group in play. And they do a really good job of getting them the football. So we have to do a good job on the back end of getting our eyes right, like John was talking about, being ready to play. And then just win up front. You know, it comes down to who's going to be the baddest group up front. And I hope our guys can do that. So I'm challenging them this week. It's a big football game. I don't know what they're ranked now. I think they're going to be 2 in Class 2A probably when the rankings come out tomorrow. So I'm sure they'll be ranked 2. So it's a big matchup coming in, and we're coming off a big win last week, but we got to put that behind us. You know, we didn't prepare great today, so I'm hoping tomorrow we do a really good job and have a really good morning. It's been good the last few Wednesday mornings, so hopefully it'll carry over. We have a really good day tomorrow. We need it against again a really good football team who's going to have an opportunity to play for. You know, they were in the semis last year, so they have an opportunity to make that or even further this year. They have a really good football team, a really good staff, and I know our guys are excited for the opportunity to play another good football team because we played a lot in a row right here with the top half. And it's going to continue to happen week in, week out. So we got to take it a day at a time, week at a time, game at a time, and we're done. Like I told them today, we're done. Geraldine's over with. We can't look at that anymore. Like it's past. You know, we did our job. We set out to beat Geraldine. We beat Geraldine. Congrats. Now we got to set out to beat Pisgah, and we got to do what it takes this week to achieve that goal. So I'm really excited.
2 more questions, and Randy, I'll come back to you. Coach Vann, you got Pisgah coming in, like we're talking about, the 3rd highest scoring team in the state of Alabama in all classifications. How do you plan on stopping them? I mean, without giving away a game plan, but you know, what's the best bet?
Jonah get his eyes in the right place to start with.
I'm hoping our 4D line will have a lot to do with that.
And then the last
question. That's my answer. How about we need to outplay them up front some way or another, and that's what we're going to challenge them. Obviously, we have to do a really good job on the back end. We have to do a really good job at linebacker with Fitz and Keys and Eyes and get lined up to the 6 million formations they get lined up to or get lined up in. And get lined up correctly is a big deal, obviously. Our 4 guys up front that we rely on need to do a good job of not making our secondary cover for 7 seconds. So, you know, that's a big part of it. And they do a really good job with their explosive offense. You know, they relied on the big play. They do a really good job of stretching the field vertically, throwing the football. You know, Holcomb does a really good job of throwing the football. And like I said, they have some of the best overall skill group that we've seen of just pushing the ball down the field. So we don't have to be ready to go. I know our guys are excited about it. You know, it's homecoming week. We've got a lot going on, but then, like I said, there's no excuse, and we've got to get ready to go because it's a good football team. This ain't your yearly homecoming game. This is you're playing a good football team. So.
You actually took the last question away from me because I was going to ask you and the 3 guys all the distractions this week with the homecoming going on and plus the county fair being in town this week. How big of a distraction is all that stuff? And we'll start with you, Coach Vann, then go to Cooley and Gurley, then Griffin.
I mean, it shouldn't be. You talk about it. it's a distraction if you allow it to be. And I think our guys do a good job of showing it. I don't think homecoming had anything to do with the way we practice today. We've got to prepare the right way no matter what week it is. And I don't think it should not be, but sometimes it creeps in that way. I don't know why, but I don't think it should be this week, especially with the team we're playing. A lot of times I think homecoming's a problem when you're playing a team that your guys feel like they can just show up. Because our guys, people watch film, it's not like you can, coaches when I played, if they were bad teams or something, they don't even show film on them. But I post film, they can see it. So, and I think a lot of times teams see the opponent that they're playing and they know that they're better than the opponent that they're playing, and then it creeps up on them that way along with homecoming week. But our guys know the opponent we're playing. We respect our opponent, but it's not your, like I said, typical homecoming team. They're ranked number 2. They're a really good football team. So we have to prepare the right way. We just didn't get it done today, and we didn't get it done last Tuesday. So we've got to do a better. We've got to do a better job on Tuesdays. It's back-to-back Tuesdays. So next week we've got to do a better job. But Wednesday, hopefully in the morning we get that fixed. But to answer your question, it shouldn't be, but sometimes it does become an issue.
Coach, I hate to interrupt there, but you mentioned it. This is 2 Tuesdays in a row. You both of these last 2 weeks, you had a good Monday and then kind of struggled on Tuesday. Is it something you might change up on the Tuesday practice next week, or you're going to do what you're going to do?
We're going to do a better job. That's it. From coach and staff to players, it ain't the players' fault. It starts with me. When you have a good Tuesday, I'm the first person to blame. So I got to do a better job, and then it needs to trickle down to our leaders and then out to our teams.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead. Cooley, distraction or not?
It's not a distraction for me. Friday is the only thing I'm usually worried about throughout the week.
Jonah.
County fair could be a little bit because I want to go, and I also don't want to go and get in trouble with the football game and all that coming up. But I mean, I'll be home. I'll be home early. I got a good schedule, so I think I'll be all right. So no distraction for me.
Jonah, you may have gave the best answer I've ever heard to that question.
Finn?
I mean, it tries to be a distraction, but not really. I don't go to the fair. I hate the fair. So you won't see me at the fair.
He goes in there and chases women around. That's what he does.
No, anything that spins, not me.
I'm with you, brother.
I'm with you too, my friend. Go ahead, Randy.
Like the football today.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a good one, man. I shouldn't let that go, man. That's my bad.
Hey, Coach, when you made out the schedule, I know we talked about it even 2 years ago how you wanted to challenge the team and wanted to play the best that the area had to offer. Do you ever look at it now and went, wow, I really I laid it on us sometime because you're coming off of I told Howie, you come off of a big win, and now it's even a bigger ball game to some. I know it's not region, but it's still a big game. And do you think that helps get you ready for later in the season in the playoff run?
Absolutely. We scheduled this non-region opponent's non-region game. I really looked at it from the standpoint I knew that it was going to be a good football team. And getting to see a spread opponent because we see enough people that just line up want to run the football. And we in the playoffs, we have to see teams that just want to throw the football and do it a lot. Pisgah's a team, they run it. Don't get me wrong, they're balanced and they'll run outside zone. They're going to run the football, but they're also going to throw it a lot, and that's something we need to see. We don't have to force. Hopefully, we can force them into being one-dimensional Friday night. Don't mean we will, but I'm hoping we can make them one-dimensional, stop the run. But it helps us on the back end. I think we've come a long ways from where we were last year at this time on the back end, and we need to continue to get better at all aspects of defense and offense if we're going to win the games we want to win. But this is a big game, like you said, against a number 2 team, and we're excited about it. I know our kids are.
One question, not to get too far in the game plan, but and I'll get to Jonah. I want to ask the same question. When you look at the film that you uploaded, and you even mentioned it already, the looks and the different looks. you're going to see 3, 4, and even 5 wide at some point. Will you work with the defense, or is Coach Clark working with the defense? Do you have to even identify what they're in before you can get everybody lined up?
Every play. Yeah, every play. That's why it's very important. We're getting a strength call. Sometimes in the secondary, we may the strength call, we may be calling it somebody or something, or somebody, a certain number. So, it kind of, that's where Jonah's got to be vocal. 15's got to be vocal. We got to get guys lined up the right way. Like football, the number one thing in football is to get lined up. If you can't get lined up, you're not going to be very good. I don't care how good you are on defense. You better be able to overcome it with a bunch of 4 or 5 guys that are 5 stars, and then you make them line up however you want to line up. But to win games, even then, that are equal, when you're playing good teams, you need to be able to get lined up right. So it's very important. I thought our checks were a little bit better today than they were yesterday, and hopefully tomorrow they're perfect. So on into Thursdays.
Jonah, Coach talked about it, and I don't want to get into your role. Don't have to tell what you're doing, but the first 5 seconds, are you trying to adjust your eyes and your lay to what the formation is and get that communicated to?
I'm watching the formation where it's going. As the formation's figuring it out, I already know where I'm going. I study that stuff all the time. So, once I see I'm going to a certain place, that's exactly where I know exactly where I'm going. So, I might be going the opposite of the call, but I'm still calling out while backing up. So,
Aspen, is it a little easier for you up front than the backside of the defense when you're playing a team? You're still going to line up all over the defensive line, but you kind of know where you're going to be no matter what.
Pretty much.
Do you like playing teams that's going to come out and play? They're going to play 4-on-5 a lot, and that gives you a chance to rush the quarterback. Not as much tight end chipping. Is that something you look at and just get excited a little bit?
I get fired up about that stuff. I just know I'm about to have a good night.
Well, he's not even rushing this way. He's screen player only. We're actually dropping him back. He's going to play the screen.
Yeah, I like that, Coach. Put him in the lane. South Pittsburgh did that last week with their Auburn commit. So
yeah, they like to throw screens. They threw a lot of screens against us last year. So I bet we worked screens for 4 hours, 2 days.
That's they throw a different look at you almost every play.
Coach, with Pisgah running so many different formations, how do you manage to get your scout team to do some of that stuff?
Oh, well, we make scout cards and we highlight where you go. Okay, so on a scout card, and it's just a lot more difficult than you think. And I could not do what Coach Wilson does, because Coach Wilson gets to hear it from me and Coach Clark sometimes, and then he relays it to the rest of his guys, and then his guys hear it. But scout teams, and it's very important part of preparation. What they do is very important, and one day they'll be trying to rely on somebody to get lined up for them. So, and they do a good job. They try to do a good job. I'm not saying that we've gotten better as the years went on, and hopefully we continue to get better at it. But it's tough now. But
You think? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask if you think Coach Wilson's used to working with all this craziness, being a Tennessee fan for all these years.
Yeah, I bet him watching him and Heupel do what he does. Who'd y'all have? Derek Dooley. We need to keep naming them. Y'all went through a bunch of guys, so he's used to everything. They went through so many coaches in the span of 4 or 5 years.
We probably gave you a shot too if you'd have been old enough by then. How about defensive wise? Give us a little quick scout, not too much detail, Finn. Just tell us what you're looking at from the offensive side this week.
Well, they play 2 high safeties. We've looked at everything. There's nothing we haven't seen on film.
Coach, offensively wise, you seem to be over the last 2 weeks really getting into I don't know, well, it's really 3 weeks, a really good groove running the football. When you pull your sheet out now and you're making your sheet, what's the balance like? Is it 50-50 still, or are you getting a little more run heavy?
A little bit more run heavy, probably. And I say that, though, not to have anything to do with we can't throw the football or anything. We don't have receivers who catch the football, but we're doing a really good job up front of assignment football and moving people. And it really helps. I mean, we're going to have to throw football because people's going to have to add guys in the box. And then that's when it becomes fun throwing the football and stuff like that. And that's really helped, actually, over the last few weeks. We're throwing the ball better. We're catching the ball better. And the people's adding stuff to the box. When you add people to the box, you become light on the back end, and it really helps from that aspect. Because we have some guys that I trust that's going to get open in man coverage. So if you play us man coverage, I trust every one of them that's going to get open. And I think we're going to see some too high top stuff this week. Obviously, I think we've repped man and different things. So we're prepared. We've seen a lot over the last 2 years, especially, but we've seen pretty much everything. You see, it's just about adjusting and getting in the right coach, man, getting the guys in the right routes and in the right run play. But I would say we're a little bit more heavy run. Somebody's gonna play us and give us man coverage, and we'll become a little bit more heavy pass. So whatever they want to give us that night, I guess, is the easiest way to put it, because I like taking what they give us.
Well, Coach, we've talked about the offensive line. Of course, we've talked about Aiden different weeks, and we've talked about Finn different weeks, but we really haven't went through the wide receiver play. And sometimes I think that's the secret element of this team, is that you're getting great wide receiver play right now.
Yeah, the senior of the group, Zack Anderson, he's had a good his last 2 weeks really come out, and we've been. First 2 weeks, I didn't get him the ball as much as I wanted to get him the ball. We try to get it to him a little bit more. We're going to try to continue to get it to him a little bit more, especially as the season goes. But he missed a lot of time last year, and he's finally starting to get going and back in a groove. And I'm glad to see that, because good kid, and I'm happy for him. And then probably the guy in that room, the leader of the room, I would say, or one of them is the guy who's played it for a long time, is Roman, probably. Just the receiving core part, because he's done it since I've been there, and he's played out wide, and he runs really good routes, full speed all the time. And he does things the right way. He had a big night the other night, and I was happy to see that. But we have a room full of guys to go through. Jack Smith, he's added some speed to that group and been able to catch the ball. I think he caught another touchdown last week, so it's back-to-back weeks since he's caught a touchdown. And his speed helps us on that, because you can't just play over 5, you can't just play over 1. And using 23's height has helped us also. Logan Wilkes, who come out this year, his first year playing in a while. I know since I've been here, he hasn't played. I've been really excited about him, and I need to do a better job of getting him going more and getting him on some in cuts and stuff like that. And, using his big body, letting him shield off guys. So I'm going to try to do a better job and assertive effort of getting him the ball in different spots other than fades and corners, which he'd be the first one to tell you he can make them play. He's going to make those plays, especially as the season goes. I trust him to make those plays. And then you got other guys in that receiver room, like Landon Pritchett, Joe McGurley, J.R. Dixon. If I start naming them, I'm going to miss somebody along the way. When I start naming guys off, but there's a bunch of them in that room that they're a play away from going in, they're an injury away from going in, and they're guys we can count on and trust if it comes to that. Because right now we got 5 plays both ways, but 1 and 9 plays a little both ways. 23 and 1 are one-way guys, and so 3's a one-way guy, 2's a one-way guy, 77. Which is he's played a little bit more right tackle for Aspen, but large part of that's we can trust Tull a little bit more. He's come off injury, and then Aspen plays a lot better when he's fresh, and he plays good either way. But it's nice to have our D lineman fresh and ready to go, especially when you're playing teams that's playing both ways. And then we got guys like Aspen, Tanner, and Drennan, if we're not 12 personnel, that's one-way guys on defense. But just having guys that's one way, especially even in that receiver group, is a big deal. But that receiver group's done a really good job, and probably didn't get noticed as much as they should have. I know in the Piedmont game we went 24 person, and we got a lot of the game and went kind of heavy because felt like that was what we needed to do in the game at that point with how they were aligning and how we were running the football. But I was really proud. If I forgot, did I forget a receiver fan? I don't think I.
No, sir. Those
The older guys, anyways. And we have some younger guys that we're going to look to in the future.
Clayton Brown. That's about
Clay Brown's the other one, 6. Yes. So we got guys we trust and we're excited about. Clayton's one of those. I know he's a junior. He was younger too as well, and somebody we're going to count on in the future. So,
Coach, I appreciate you going through that room with us because I don't think I and Howie had done a good enough job highlighting those. Howie, you ready to ask these guys some questions to get them riled up? Because I think Aspen's going to go to sleep on us if we don't get him going.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking myself. Hey, when y'all chose y'all's numbers, what was the reasoning behind it?
I'll go first. All right. So I've always been 12, but JR has been playing along with me, so I gave him respect. But I came out to Coach Vann at a basketball game in section. I told him, I said, "Hey, Coach Vann," I said, "if you give me number 25, it's been my family." I said, "You give me number 25, I'll come play for you." He said, "I got you, son." And so that's how I got my number.
Yeah, John Seals, God knows he said some crazy stuff. He said 25 will get a pick 6 this week. So that might be good news or bad news. Go ahead, Howie.
Cooley, how'd you choose your number?
As soon as Coach Vann got here, we used to not be allowed to have 69. I've always wanted it. And then our lineman coach had 69. And I knew he was a dog.
Justin Lee played at Jacksonville.
I knew
Justin Lee at Jacksonville, he wore 69, so Aspen wants to be just like him.
So he's kissing up to the lineman coach.
Aspen said not just like him. I think 51 is more so than 69. Lee gives them Coolies a hard time. So,
Fan, how'd you choose your number?
Coach Chaney was number 2. I feel like I'm a little bit better, so I had to go number 3. So, that's all I got.
Hey, drop the mic on that one.
There you go. Probably one of the best answers of the night so far. So, Finn and Jonah, I've known y'all's parents forever. Your moms and dads and all that. And I'm just curious, did y'all get anything from your dads at all? Because your moms are nice looking. They're very athletic as well. What about your dads? Did your dads give you anything?
You see me, man? I'm like an identical twin to my dad. Okay? I look good. No, I got a lot of my. My mom was very athletic, but I got a lot of my basketball stuff from my dad. And my dad was a big time basketball player, really good at basketball. But he got hurt his senior year. But I think I get a lot of my physique and my ability to play from my dad.
Finn, what about you?
I couldn't really tell you, to be honest. I mean, I have hair. You can't count.
Woo, Lord.
Okay, well, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and ask some questions that a lot of people wants to know about, mainly me. Do y'all have any superstitions before the game that you have to do? Start with Cooley.
That's about right. I make sure put my energy drinks in the ice killer for every game.
Do you take care of your body is all I need to know. I hear that's a big question around the sidelines.
I do the basics.
Just plead the fifth and move on. Go ahead, Howie.
Go ahead, Jonah.
I usually, ever since my older brother, he's released songs. I have a few of his unreleased songs. I try to listen to a few of his, and then I pull up some of my Corey Asbury and Brandon Lake, kind of my Christian music, and kind of zone in on that. I don't really listen to any of that pregame stuff. I try to focus in on the right things.
All right, Finn.
Mine's for sure the prayer we do before every game. I think it's most important that we ask God to lead us through the game, protect us, keep us safe.
That's a good answer. How are you there?
Yeah, we passed out.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. I got a text and I was checking it real quick. Let's go into the school real quick. Favorite subject, Finn.
Not math. I'd have to say, I don't know, reading.
What's up, these teachers? Reading or looking or
Reading.
Reading.
I don't have many classes. I finished history.
I wish you'd read signs better.
Whoa, here we go.
English.
Coach throwing.
I did not think reading was.
I thought you
We missed a TY trade the other night. I thought Aiden was done for the years. My heart dropped. I did not think he would say reading. I was messing with you.
kind of shocked by that one myself, Coach.
Yeah, me too. Cooley.
Who teaches reading? Who do you say teaches reading?
I think Miss Walton.
Cooley. What's your favorite food or restaurant?
Probably Chow King to Fort Payne.
The buffet.
Hey, that's man after my own heart right there. You know I'm a buffet man.
Jonah, what about your favorite teacher, man?
My favorite teacher, I don't know. It's kind of even right now. I'd like to say my mom, but no, my favorite teacher is probably Miss Moses or Miss Fox. I love Miss Fox. She's been around for my brother and me for a long time. So I'd probably say Miss Fox.
Coach Vann finally got mentioned last week as being a favorite teacher.
Yeah, right after Aiden got 41 carries, Coach Vann got nominated for favorite teacher.
Coincidence.
It may be hard.
All right, guys. For all three of you, real quick, what's your favorite homecoming activity so far?
Probably gonna be dodgeball.
Yeah, battle of the classes.
Battle of the classes.
Battle of the classes, dodgeball, and what else is there?
Relay races, the open ceremony.
You got try to collect pennies.
Yeah, there's a penny war or something like that.
Is there a door for it?
The all the teachers doing the doors. You like to see Coach Vann's face everywhere on every door. See the different kind of cuts out. It's time, all that kind of stuff.
All right, Randy. We've got something that we started doing to you guys. Coach Vann is 2-1. The visitant or the guest on the show is 5-3, I think.
Hey, don't make this pick the Tennessee game segment. Let's pick somebody else for a change.
Well, you're gonna have to pick it because I'm at the county fair. I can't even look and see who's playing who. So can you come up with a game?
I got one.
Go ahead, Coach Vann.
Tennessee and South Carolina.
Oh my God.
No. Yeah.
We get Coach Wilson on here next week. That's all I'm gonna say. Go ahead.
No,
that's South Carolina, Coach Vann. Go ahead.
Is that the one you're doing?
Sure. You picked it. You picked it, and it's your show, so go ahead. Tennessee, South Carolina. We'll start with Finn. Who's going to win? Tennessee, South Carolina.
Tennessee.
There we go. Jonah.
Oh, no, South Carolina all day. Spencer Rattler going to be done.
Don't fight Jonah back no matter what. Go ahead.
Cooley.
I'm pick Tennessee just for Coach Wilson.
That's a man after my own heart right there.
And Coach Vann.
You know what's coming.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I want to have the best record. I'm 2-1 right now, so I got to go with who I actually think is going to win the game. So I think Spencer Rattler's the best quarterback in the SEC, and I got him winning by at least 14 Saturday against an offense that can't move the football. So I'm going South Carolina. I like Coach. I like South Carolina's head football coach. I think he's really good. So I'm going with him and Spencer Rattler.
Sir.
Guys, I appreciate y'all spending time with us tonight. Welcome.
Already laid out. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Guys, appreciate you spending the time with us, taking time being with us. Y'all could have been doing something else. Everybody enjoys listening to what the players got to say along with Coach Vann. Y'all could have been doing, Finn could have been reading somewhere, but instead he's here with us. So appreciate your time. Welcome back anytime. Jonah, even though you picked South Carolina, you're welcome back anytime as well.
Yes, sir.
Randy,
Hey,
take it home.
We do it every week, and I just want you to say it again. How important another home game, another chance to get a big crowd out, special environment in Sylvania, Alabama when Friday night rolls around.
Yeah, another big night. So we need everybody out. Another, top 10 opponent, actually top 2 opponent this week in 2A. So need everybody out there. You heard it from the players. They enjoy it. They want you out there. So and they deserve it. So look forward to seeing everybody Friday night. And hopefully we prepare the rest of the week the right way and able to execute.
Coach, I've seen a lot of high school football, and when I flipped that video on, I actually had goosebumps, and I can't imagine what it was like there alive for the kids and the support from their fellow students. Finn, let me ask you that question real quick. What does it feel like to see your fellow students in the stands, kind of decked out?
I mean, it's awesome to know they got us. They got our back. I mean, they're there for us. They support us. It's good feeling.
That's awesome, man. Hey, here's a segment where I'll give you a chance to get out of trouble and talk to the person you need to talk to. Aspen, I feel like there's a few people that you probably need to shout out right here. So who do you want to shout out? What you want to tell them? Go down the line. Aspen, I'm putting it on the tee for you, buddy. Then we'll go Jonah, even though he picked the Gamecocks, and we'll finish up with the quarterback corner. Graduate turns it over to Aspen to start it.
I'll pick my dad, Patrick Kearley.
You can have more than one if you need it.
And my mom.
Thank you. All right. Jonah.
Yeah,
hold on. Let me pull this knife out of my back and give it back to you before you start. There you go. So go ahead.
Man, I'd like to thank my parents and, shout out to my parents, shout out to my brothers, shout out to all the people that come to watch me play and my family, my brothers, my teammates right here, which I call my brothers. It's unbelievable to look up in the stands and know that there's 41 people sitting in the stands waiting for you, watching you, cheering on you and your family. That's something in my heart that I appreciate. Standing there after the game, waiting for pictures for me. I couldn't think. Shout out to Coach Woodland for doing all he does for us at the DB spot. Shout out to Coach Clark for his defense. Coach Wilson, I guess you can get a shout out for not playing me. I'm playing. But that's probably about it.
Boy, he was doing so good till that last one, Coach Vann. All right, brother. Ben, what you got, brother?
Mainly the same as him. I mean, shout out to my family. Coming to all the games, sport means a lot.
No shout out for like the favorite food or anything. All right, Coach Vann. Here's your chance, and I know who you better shout out. Who you going to shout out?
My wife and my son Cotton. I got trouble saying my kid last week, so I'm trying to say Cotton. But no, shout out to my family.
Coach, we've got a new tradition this year. If you appear on the show, you win a Player of the Week award. I believe the week after Ashton was on, he won the Defensive Player of the Week, and then week after Aiden was on, he won the Offensive Player of the Week. But I'm just going to say, somebody that group over there is going to have to step up and continue this tradition this week. My money's on it. It's going to be a 3-way tie. Maybe. All right, Coach. Appreciate your time always. I love this group of guys. Appreciate y'all coming. Howie, Chaney, anything close us up?
Good luck Friday night, guys, and I'll see you there.
Appreciate you guys. Coach, appreciate y'all for Tyler Vann Show. We will be back in 1 week. 6:30 next Tuesday. We'll be back with the Pisgah highlights. Good night and God bless.